Okay, microphone is on. I can't do a proper recording. Hello, everybody. Dev update. So it turns out Behavior dropped a developers update regarding the 9.1.0 update, and we're gonna get an upcoming PTB. I'm actually really excited about this. Also, I know that there's probably a little change in both angle and stuff like that. I had to do a reshoot. I wasn't happy with the last one, and my camera froze, so that's great. Plus, my input was like really all over the place. I was like, damn, I was really rushing it. So, and this is a little more collective. Anyway, that being said, I'm going to go over a couple of the key things here. There are a lot of cool things that are actually upcoming in this update. I am excited about. We got a lot of buffs to look forward to. Some that are worth talking about, some that are aight, they're okay. And I'm honestly, I'm not against them. And I'm curious and a little bit excited, if I'm being honest. So we're going to start with this, and I'm going to be pulling up images as well for you guys, and we're going to talk about it as we go through the video. So the first biggest one, which I think is going to be the biggest talk of the entire update, actually one of two, because one is going to be the new item. We have a new survivor item coming up, and I am super excited. This is going to be really, really cool. Actually, a long time ago, I think it was like last year or a couple of years ago, but this 1 or 2 years ago, I was in a stream with a couple of buddies, and it was during the Hallowed Blight of not Hallowed Blight. It was during the Hallow event, the Halloween event. I can't remember the fucking name of it. And they had introduced the crystals that could make basically a smoke bomb. And I said, oh, if they're doing this, they're gonna add a smoke bomb at some point in the future. And now we actually have that. So big win for Survivor mains. And also, I think a little bit of killer mains, because if a survivor doesn't know what they're doing, you probably just run right into the killer and accidentally get yourself killed. So this could be a really fun item that we finally see coming to the fog. And what's interesting is how they're actually developing this one. And I'm just going to go over what it says here, which is basically, it is a equipable item, so you actually have this part of your kit when you go into the fog, into a trial. And so using the fog vial causes a fog cloud to expand. It causes basically no scratch marks. So essentially, it's like the smoke bomb that was happening in the actual Halloween event. And so it muffles the sound around you. It causes no scratch marks to be seen within the cloud. And it apparently has a recharge too. So recharges over time. So once you have the item, you have the item. I don't know, maybe permanently until maybe you use it again. I don't really know how they're going to go with how to use the item, because it's not like a firecracker where you use it once. They're actually having it as like a one-time use, which I found very interesting. I'm actually kind of surprised that they kind of have a cooldown with it. And they're also adding item rarities and add-ons. So they're basically making different rarities. They're making different add-ons. I don't know what they plan on doing with it. Probably to increase radius or some other minor changes to what they plan on doing with this add-on. Overall, though, super excited, super happy, and I'm excited about that. Another one, which is really, really cool to put into it, I'm actually going to be skipping ahead a little bit in the dev note here. We have one regarding the Executioner. Now, Executioner, for all of you who know, has not always gotten the best love in terms of add-ons, but it looks like they're getting a huge amount of buffs. So if you're an Executioner player out there, you're going to be eating happy, because a lot of the add-ons that basically everyone's been kind of base kitting are being now put into the base kit of Executioner, and now we're going to see new add-ons, and we're going to see some increase in chances of seeing more opportunity to save your fellow teammates from a cage. They're actually adding the endurance and speed effect that you would if you were getting off of hook to prevent tunneling, because if you don't know, Executioner is an incredibly efficient tunneler. But now to go back a little bit, I'm going to backtrack. We have 2 items in the game that are getting some changes, and some much needed changes, and are being established. One is, of course, keys. For those of you who don't know, keys are basically one of the most, if not the most useless item in the game. Honestly, I don't see that being changed anytime soon. One, experienced players don't usually go for chests quite often, and if they do, it's because they're trying to look for a med kit or something like that. And 2, what I found very interesting is that they're making changes to the charges. So if you don't know what a charge is, it's basically how long an item has of use. So for a med kit, it's that little bar that you see there. And so they're changing that for keys and maps, but we'll get to that in a second. And so it's basically a charge for every use, not so much of how much time you can use it. That's what they specified here in the dev note here. And apparently you can use it now for more than just the hatch and seeing aura. It's going to have a base kit by the sounds of it for seeing survivor's aura for a limited time. And then you can use a charge to use it on a chest. So now you can not only just take time to open it, but you can instantly unlock a chest to get a item of a really good rarity. So it increases your chances essentially if you find that key, and of course the hatch. So overall, I mean, it's nice to see actual more uses for keys, but I don't see that being a top tier pick. So it's neither here or there. But overall, I'm not going to complain about it. It's nice to see that keys have gotten a nice little change out of it. Next one is maps. So maps are going to be basically they're going to work the same way in terms of charges with keys. But what's interesting is that now they're going to be revealing pallet and vault areas for yourself for a limited time. So basically, a Windows effect for a limited time. And you'll still be able to see the auras of generators and stuff like that, I'm assuming. But it looks like instead of them being revealed over time as you're passing by everything, they're just going to be there, it sounds like. So they're going to be giving more uses to maps, and I think maps are going to be a little bit stronger in terms of chases, so you can have a full-on chase build while having a limited windows. But in my opinion, I'd rather just run windows, because windows is overall a really good perk, and no change with it whatsoever. So those are the ones that we have. We also have some customization presets. We have some keyboard and mouse on consoles, so that you can now use those. We have custom match improvements. I'm gonna touch topic on the custom match just for a little bit to kind of reminisce back to my competitive Dead by Daylight days. They're going to add, I should say, a lot to go with when it comes in terms of really just adding better quality of life improvements for spectating for those running tournaments in games. So that's really nice. Now we are also seeing a little bit of a change to the clown. He's getting buffed in certain ways, but getting nerfed in terms of like his purple cloud versus his yellow cloud, which is really interesting. And honestly, I don't know why. They want more use out of the yellow bottle, which makes no sense. That's the speed. That's what applies to speed, and it does get used by more higher level clown players. They use it to get across the map. They don't necessarily use it in chase too often, whether that's to catch up with someone or to outmaneuver on a loop. That's usually when they use it. Newer clown players and more experienced ones are going to use the purple one because, again, they more hindered, not haste, more hindered. And they're also decreasing the hindered effect, which I also found very interesting. So we're probably going to see a lot of clowns using add-ons to increase the hindered effect, because I think that's a really bad choice if you're going to be buffing the haste. It looks like they're trying to turn it into that direction, but I don't understand why. Things like Knight, Pig, a lot of add-ons that have been used, mostly base kit, are being buffed. Pig is getting a nice little buff, mainly to stealth and crouching. Nothing to go home about. The Knight, a lot of add-ons are getting basically added to base kit. This small little thing. And then we have these upcoming perks for survivors. I'm going to list these here. We have Any Means, Appraisal, Better Together, Built to Last, Deja Vu, Detective's Hunch, Potential Energy, Still Sight, and Streetwise. They are seeing that apparently the usage rates of these perks are low, so they're buffing them, or at least doing some changes to, I guess, give them more use. And it looks like Streetwise is actually getting a rework while everything else is getting an update. So we're going to see how those go down. Same thing with killer perks. We have the following getting updated, which are going to be Dragon's Grip, Franklin's Demise, Hubris, Insidious, which is actually really nice because Insidious has been a long overdue perk that has been touched. And updated, of course, Hangman's Trip. Now, what's getting reworked is actually Overwhelming Presence. For those of you who don't know, Overwhelming Presence is a little bit of it's a weak perk. It's a very weak perk. It's not useful at all, and I'm glad that they're getting it reworked, because what it's essentially supposed to do is that if you're in the killer's terror radius and you're using an item, it burns the item faster, but it's so niche, and there are a lot more play styles, and there's just objectively better perks to handle items like Franklin's Demise right now. It's going to be interesting. And we do have Franklin's Demise, actually, funny enough, on this update. So we're going to see what that goes with. So that's essentially what's going to be happening here, and what is coming to the game. I'm more excited about what's going to be with the Executioner, of course, the new item, and what they're going to change with the key and the maps. And so I'm really excited about that. And you know what? Good win for those who do competitive. Again, huge win for everybody included in those areas. But yeah, I wanted to kind of touch topic on this. Hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, remember to check out all my other stuff on this channel, and also I will be live on Twitch from time to time, so be sure to make sure that you follow on Twitch so that you can catch me when I go live. I haven't really set up a schedule for that just yet, just kind of going through the motions right now. So yeah, let me know what you guys' thoughts are. I hope you all are excited. I actually want to see this PTB, so I am going to probably either live stream it or do a recording on the new item, and see what the other changes are, just to see what's up. So yeah, let me know what you guys think, and yeah, see you in the next one.